guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing a sewing tutorial, and this is sort of a sewing for crocheters and knitters tutorial. And I am going to be showing you how to make this project bag. It's a sort of a travel bag that you would put on your arm. So if you're out and about, or maybe at the doctor's or traveling on an airplane, you can keep your project in here and your balls of yarn, and you can keep it hooked on your arm as the thread comes out as you're using it. So if you like what you see, stick around and let's get straight into it. Okay, so first you're going to start off with 2 pieces of fabric, and I'm going to be using this gingham fabric, and this will be the outside. And then I'm going to be using this white fleece, and this will be for the lining. I'm starting off with 2 pieces of fabric that measure 30 inches by 13 inches. And right now I'm going to create the place where you place your arm. So this is like the cutout where you're going to be placing your arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sewing ruler. This one's really good because you can see all the inches and measurements. And I'm going to measure in 9 inches from both sides. Today I'm going to be using a Crayola marker, and the only reason why I'm using that is because it's easier to see for you guys, but a disappearing marker or chalk, if you have a different colored chalk than what you're using, would help. But the Crayola does wash out, so I figure it's not going to ruin my project completely. So I'll just wash it when I'm done. Okay, so 9 inches from the one side, and I'm going to do the other side. And then from here, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches up that 9-inch line. And then I'm going to connect those 2 dots. And I'll do that on the other side. Three and a half. Connect them. And then I'm going to take something round, and I'm just going to put that up against the 2 lines and just draw that out. And that's going to make a nice curve there. Alright, so that is that, and from here you're going to sew along here, and it's easier if you just leave it like this and then cut it out after. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that. Okay, so we're going to line it up here, and then we're going to back stitch, lock that in place. And then you can walk it if you're not comfortable doing the curve yet. Okay, lift up that needle. And I'm going to go ahead and do the next part, and I will meet you back when both sides are done. Okay, so now it is sewn along here and along here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut with my circular blade carefully. Cut that off. Just give it a 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, so now that we've cut that off, that excess, then because of this curve, we're just going to cut little slits into that, and that's just going to help it lay flat. Otherwise, it will sort of pull on the curve and won't look pretty. Making sure you don't cut the actual seam itself. And then you're going to flip it right side out. And I'm going to head on over to my ironing board, and I'm just going to iron this nice and flat. Okay, so that ironed up very nicely, and the corner there is very nice because I put those little slits in it. So now I'm going to do a little top stitch along here just to make it look nice and professional. So I'm not going to record that, but you're basically just going to stitch along this edge about 1/4 of an inch in. Okay, so if you can see the top stitch. So it just gives it more of a finished off look. So okay, so now that we've done that, then we take the top of our bag and fold it and basically put the right sides together. So you're kind of gonna hide that like inside, and then put the right sides together. And then the same thing on this side. Now if you notice, I'm not using any pins, and the only reason why I'm not using any pins is because I'm very afraid of dropping them and then my toddler getting them. So that's the only reason why. But fleece, it kind of like sticks to itself and sticks to other fabrics, so it's pretty good with staying together as I'm sewing, so I'm not too worried. Other fabrics that are a little bit more slippery, then yeah, I would definitely have to pin, and then I would count out my pins and make sure if I take out 10 pins, then I put 10 pins back, because one time my toddler got a hold of a pin and I was panicking. So anyways, so now I'm going to be stitching all the way around, but I will be leaving a hole at the bottom of the lining, because when you stitch that up afterwards, you're not going to see that seam. So that's where you want that hole to be, to flip it right side out again. So I'm going to go and sew that. Okay, so I'm going to start with sewing, start in the middle here, just because I want those two seams to come together nicely. So we're just going to do 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And so all the way around the back. And then when you get to a corner, you're going to lift your presser foot and then make sure your needle is still in the cotton, and then turn your bag, put the presser foot back down. That's going to give you a perfect corner. So here it is, our opening. We are just going to flip it. I'm gonna make sure I caught all the fabric. Yeah, okay. I might have made the hole a little small, but I forgot that you should cut those corners, and that'll give you a better corner when you go to put it inside out. And those scissors are horrible, and that's what happens when you use scissors for other purposes. When you go to use them for your fabric, then they're all gummed up. I think there's glue on those ones. It's the life of my mom. I think I only gave myself like 2 inches, so that is not enough room. Right. So then you're going to take, if you have a corner tool, you can poke those corners, or if you're like me and have all kinds of tools for all kinds of purposes, I'm just going to use one of my clay tools, and that will poke that corner out nicely. And then that is the finished bag. So I'm just going to go ahead and close up that hole on the inside. It's pretty straightforward how to do that. And so now you can put your yarn in here and put your arm through here and crochet or knit. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos. All my social media and my blog links will be in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!